DJ Booth Radio Show. Getting in. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. We're going to jump right into it. My man DJ Duke is out right now taking care of business. Welcome to the DJ Booth Radio Show. You know what we do every Wednesday, 1 to 2 p.m. I'm your guy, DJ Knowledge. And today I got my co-host. He's going to serve as my co-host today, Ash. What's up, Ash?
What's going on? What's up?
The Bad Bunny.
The Bad Bunny in the building, you know.
The Bad Bunny. Yeah. So, as we do as usual, man, gotta give a shout out to our sponsors, Bolt Vodka, which is a black-owned vodka, strawberry flavored vodka coming straight out of Miami. We also got Math Through Music. Math Through Music is an innovative way for kids to improve their math skills through the art of DJing. The Math Through Music kit comes with a whole setup. The kids get, hey, what's up, Malcolm? The kids get a DJ controller. They get a laptop. It comes with a textbook that's made out of vinyl with a whole curriculum in it. They get the software to download the songs that they like so that they can actually play tunes they like and get better with their math skills. So with that being said, another one of our sponsors, the WGE Podcast Center, for anybody looking for a podcast, whether you're a beginner or expert, hit me up about that. We got reasonable rates. Got a few shows out there in the podcast world. So that's it. We're going to get right into this thing. We got a special guest here, Mr. Math Through Music himself. Star. Say what's up, man.
We in the building, man. We are in the building. It's an honor to be here. I love y'all. Y'all just show me so much support, so I got to give it right back to you. Welcome to another episode of the DJ Booth Radio Show.
My man. So before we go into Talking to Five, we got this special lady over here who does a segment every week, and we call it the Remedy 10.
Yes.
And she gives us like so much information on how to be healthy, how to deal with wellness, what type of natural things we can do to improve our wellness and health. So I'm going to just pass it over to her, let her do her thing, and let's go.
Thank you, DJ Knowledge. Well, good afternoon, my kings and queens. It's your girl, AJ the Bunny. The time has come again for your Remedy 10 here on the DJ Booth Radio Show live each and every Wednesday, bringing you the Remedy 410. Okay, so what we're going to do today, we're going to discuss some relationship issues, okay? I know we always talk about getting our mental health together and some holistic things, but this is a mental health break too as well with your relationships, because you really need to be able to have a sound mind in order to deal with your significant others and your friends. So are you guys looking and longing for relationships that do your heart good and generate stronger connections? Because I know I was. Knowing about energy can transform your ability to build positive relationships, prevent loneliness, and ward off fatigue by making the energetic shifts described here draw good things to you, like just from your energy. One of the things we discussed last month was the Tibetan singing bowl and how scientists found that the vibrations of the singing bowl could heal certain pains and ailments in the body by simply rubbing a suede stick around the rim and inviting good energy into your every space. Well, today we are going to learn 4 things to help invite that good energy into your home and finances, your health, and also your love life. So number 1, we attract who we are. The most positive energy we give off, the more we'll receive. Ditto for negativity. It works like this. Love attracts love. Grumpiness attracts grumpiness. Passion attracts passion. Rage attracts rage. First, define what being positive does and doesn't mean for you in terms of attitude and behavior. Don't worry if you're far from a positive place. It's an evolution. Give thought to what you value most in yourself or others. You can then strengthen these traits in yourself. Attract the same. The idea is to find reciprocal nourishing interactions, not to win in popularity contests. Of course, it feels good to be liked, but I've seen this turn into addiction. The following exercises will help you boost your positive signals. Identify your best qualities and project them to the world. Okay, number two, intuition clarifies smart choices. Relationships are tricky. They can be a big blur even when your eyes are open. We've learned to draw conclusions from surface data. How nice someone seems, looks, or is educated, or how a situation is deeper. To make it work for you, intuitions about relationships and identify those that have compatible matches. What may obscure the picture is anxiety and intense. Sexual attraction is so. Go slow until you get a keener intuitive read. You can work on tuning in and acting on vibes with this one. Number three, seeing the best in people magnetizes them. Instead of reflectively insinuating the worst in a person or situation, choose to energize positive qualities. The object isn't to flatter, make nice, be politically correct, or ignore intuitive red flags, nor to deny someone's dark side or play abusers. Your goal is to mine the gold in positive relationships and elevate the communication in more difficult ones. We want to have the goodness in us acknowledged. If you want to connect with someone, notice his or her, say a coworker is snitty, realize that person is normally happy, and happy people don't act this way. So instead of being snitty back or constantly miffed, redirect the energy. Comment on the long hours she puts in or her cute shoes. Use this approach for a week as well as the ones below and watch the vibes change. Now, the ones below is tell at least two people you love what you appreciate and are grateful for about them. Be honest in the nicest way about what you do not appreciate from someone close to you. Adjust your perception. Spend an afternoon noticing the positive qualities of everyone you meet, especially if you're pessimistic, and praise other people's abilities without talking about you. And last but not least, four, soulful giving generates abundance. And I'm going to say this again, soulful giving generates abundance. Giving is supposed to feel good. If not, something's wrong. Soulful giving enlarges your capacity to be more caring. You give for the joy of it, expecting nothing in return. In contrast, codependent giving bleeds life force. It's driven by obligation, guilt, or a martyr complex, and it gives the giver feeling sucked dry, unappreciated, and put upon. You want to give your reasons for energizing you, not because you're taking inappropriate responsibility for others. The following will generate bountiful vibes for you and the receiver. If you give from your heart, your vitality will soar. Give spontaneously and give anonymously. So use these steps to mobilize excellence and kindness in your relationships. Emphatically say no to anything that doesn't further the heart. Cheer such in each success. Don't cheat your joy by jumping too quickly into the next ambition. Instead, pledge to value even the tiniest of traumas. So, my kings and queens, let's manifest what we want. Invite positive energy into our space. Tune in next week for a kinetic lesson and how scientifically proven we can connect to each other through eye contact and high vibration energies. Remember, you must completely know self in order to be yourself. And okay, that's all I have for the Royal Castle today. Join me next week for the Remedy 10 and go follow us at Reality Recycled on IG, Facebook, and now YouTube for all your holistic health and DIY tips. Cold, so get that gear in order and go to shopcivilwrongs.com and get your stuff.
Wow, it's deep.
Deep.
It's deep.
All right.
For those of for those of you listening, I just want to say if you didn't catch the first Reality 10s, make sure you go either subscribe to the YouTube page, go back to my page because I always highlight my videos. I post the videos so that you can kind of get those lessons that were in the previous episodes. But speaking of energy, Five, what's your take on what she just dropped on us?
Man, she did a mouthful. I mean, the one thing that rung out in my mind, as you were saying, is your vibe attracts your tribe, and that and you gotta love yourself. Love people, hurt people.
Mhm.
And she described it in so eloquently. Like, kudos. If I had this
Thank
little
you.
sound effect, I'd have played the applause. Because in our culture, that's the one thing that we have some control of is the
Yeah.
repair part. We can have each other. I can greet you as a queen. I can greet you as a king, and not an N word or a B word. So you're meeting our culture where we are, and so trauma or whatever exposure we've had as a child that is infecting us as an adults, we got to acknowledge that first.
Yes.
First, in school, they taught us. Now, me and Knowledge got engineering degrees. We went to high school together. And the first thing they learned in the science class was the scientific method was what? State the problem. Let's find out the problem. Let's acknowledge the problem, right? And so sometimes we have those hard conversations in the Black community that it's a hard conversation and we got to have it. And so you got to be open to having it. And it's not to point the finger or to really hurt anyone, but back to the original point, my whole perspective of what you said was that your vibe attracts your tribe. So love yourself, you and like good vibes. Look at DJ Good Vibes. Right on time.
Yeah, I'm super big on energy. I mean, that's like my thing. I've been doing a lot of self-reflection lately. And so it's interesting that you brought this topic up today, because exactly what you're talking about is, I think one of the challenges for me right now is being that I'm in a difficult place, I'm still able to move as if I'm not in that place.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
I get exactly what you're talking about.
Whereas though, like I was talking to my friends the other day, and I was like, yo, if you didn't know that I was going through these things, like I told, like people that I've told, you wouldn't think that I would go through it. You wouldn't think I was going through it, because I'm maintaining, but at the same time, I am being realistic with myself to know that, yo, I got to make some changes, because I can't keep doing this. Yeah, this nah. I'm built tough, but nah.
But that's when the change happens. That's when the change happens. When you get past the denial stage of, okay, I'm just gonna keep blowing smoke over this situation. I'm gonna keep having temporary fixes to fix the situation. As you get older, some people are just tired of feeling the way that they feel. Some people are tired of the results that they're getting. And that's just asinine to do the same thing and expect to get different results. You're going to get the same result. So in order to do that, you have to do what? You have to say to yourself, I'm tired of this.
I'm tired, right.
So once you're tired of it, what happens next? You're going to do something different.
You're going to do something about it.
And then once you do something different, then things will start to change. And people can't sit there and keep saying, oh, my really listening to you. So the only difference that you can make is the change of positivity, in order for you to open up and see the world in a different perspective, which is really big, because a lot of us women in the Black community, when we go places, it's kind of hard for someone to pay you a compliment.
Huh?
It's kind of hard.
How?
Because some of us as women, we have this chip already on our shoulder. Okay? It's a defense mechanism. It doesn't necessarily mean that she's the angry Black woman. It doesn't mean that she's having a terrible day. She could have resting bitch face. Okay? So let's say she's sitting there, she's having resting bitch face, and she's in defense mode. She's around people she doesn't know. There's a way to carry that. You can still sit there and be poised and be a lady. You can still, not have too much communication with so many people, but it would be a negative effect if you come into this room and you sit that same way. Look at her. I don't know nobody here.
Right.
Why are they doing that? Why are they doing that?
Right.
If you automatically come into a situation with the negativity on you, not knowing that you're dealing with your own personal issue that you never fix. So how are you going to be good for the world to anybody else if you don't fix your own issue?
Right. Ugh.
Man, it's deep. Erica said, that's my mindset twin. Say it, sis.
Erica. Yes, Erica.
Is that Erica?
You know it.
Yeah, okay. She's a positivity motivator herself.
Yes. Indeed.
So, man.
Z Nice, I appreciate you, bro.
You every week you hit me with something. It's like,
you know what, stuff be happening to me, DJ. Now stuff be happening, and I'll be like, you know what can I do? Because it's a learning, it's a journey for everybody. Everybody's learning, so I'm learning too. And honestly, I had a whole nother segment.
I think the best forms of content come from like stuff you actually go through, coming from the heart. I mean, every time we used to do the show at WLB 1010, and when I used to do my little positive message for the day, I would talk about stuff that I'm really going through.
Right.
Like, because I mean, it's real. That makes it realer than real. Right. Everybody's going through things now, but it's just the way you handle it and transition through it. And the number one thing, and I'm gonna kind of cross over into patience.
Oh God.
Because me and this guy, people hear me talk about playing golf all the time, right? And this is who I played my first game of golf with.
Awesome golf players.
And
It's
so,
therapy.
whoa,
It's therapy.
unbelievable.
Okay. It's
Hello.
therapy.
Yeah, unbelievable therapy. Like I swear to beans, I never thought ever in my life I'd be saying I'm playing golf. Ever. I'm dead serious. Like I'm a sports person, so athlete, play. You going to Dick's Sporting Goods and I'm walking past the golf section like nobody wants that. Who plays that? I'm dead serious. Like
BMW clubs.
now I'm
Addicted.
addicted.
Yes.
I can't go in the store without going in the golf section. Like, what do they got? What's going on?
Gloves, everything.
So I say that to say, like I said, patience. Golf teaches you patience, as well as many other things in life. Fishing.
That's my therapy.
A lot of everything that we do, you have to learn some sort of patience, and taking it to DJing, because this is a DJ Booth radio show. I literally have had stories of, like I've said, like I used to carry his crates in the club. That's how long, this was in high school. So that's how long he's been DJing. You know what I'm saying? I've just been kind of like on the sidelines or in the back, like he'll be like, yo, what you think I should play next? Because I used to know the music. I used to know a lot of music. And I would carry his crates to get in the club for free.
Hey,
which is
it's
like
a method to the madness. Okay.
So that's to tell you how long we go back, but from a DJ's perspective, how do you see patience and what you've learned from just living? How does that factor into being a DJ?
Man, one of the most patient DJs I've seen in the industry was DJ Scotty B. Like it wasn't the how fast you could play this 12 o'clock record. When you start this 12 o'clock set, 12:30, or whenever that time frame may be, when you can have the patience to tell a story in the music. You don't want to just play the hits and get them all riled up, but tell a story. Have patience to know that I got it for 4 hours. And one of the couple rules that I have when I play is I don't want to break tempo and I don't want to repeat records. So I'm telling the story. So if I know I'm playing from 10 to 2 or 2 to 6 or 4 hour span, I'm going to tell a story with that music and it takes patience to do that because you're rushed to play the hit at the time because you got people coming. Can you play this hit? Whatever that hit may be, it's not needed now. Because if I play it now, I'm going to need it 30 minutes from now or 2 hours from now. And patience is such a big quality for DJs to have and to know the music. When you got a music library in your catalog and not know it, that's still a hurtful part.
Yeah.
So to have partners in your corner to say, I need to touch the brothers right now. Like, how can I touch the brothers? And he say, oh, you should play Freeway. Yeah. Oh, that's the perfect record. And we both have that moment.
Yeah, we've had plenty of those moments. Yeah.
Where I'm like, I got the Queens going, but I need to get my brothers involved. He come out with a record that I'm like, that's the perfect record for the perfect time. And it wasn't that we rushed it. It was about we saw what was needed. And so sometimes patience and understanding is what I pray for to the Most High, because that breeds wisdom. When you pray for patience and understanding, you're not mad when things don't go your way.
Yes.
It's beyond you. Thank you, Styles. I appreciate it, King.
All right.
And that's my where patience come in as a DJ. It's so many different facets of just being note that time in the talk. Sometimes you're talking over music. The music is the star.
Right. That was one thing I learned from him because I was never the on the mic guy. I just want the music to speak for itself. But he was like, yo, you should learn how to, do both. Like talking on the mic sometimes because it adds value sometimes to the set.
Yeah.
And so one thing he said one time, because he was like, yo, don't talk when the artist is rapping. Just talk during the hook. And I took note of that, like, oh, it makes sense.
Right.
Like, don't over talk the verse, come in on the hook. You know what I mean? So little things like that. You being pretty much like I guess you could say you're a legend because you've been doing it for over 20 years. And so from a perspective of coming from, we always talk about coming from actual records and vinyl, to controllers now, what kind of advice could you say you could give to a younger DJ just coming in the game and you're still actively active in the DJ world with the old and the young? You know, what do you see that let's put it this way. What do you see that new DJs are doing that like you might go to a club and you hear a new DJ and you're like, yo, I got a little piece of advice, boom, boom, boom. And what do you see that the older DJs are still doing or maybe haven't
Excellent
learned
question.
yet that they can kind of change or not change, but just adjust a little bit
Yep.
to say,
I got
Mhm.
it. being our age, right? We we had an analog childhood and a digital adulthood, so we understand both
Right.
spectrums. So we know the computer jockeys. They didn't come in with the vinyl, and so one thing I noticed they do is this: when they transition a record, they're pressing a record, they're pressing buttons, and we couldn't do that in
Right.
the 90s.
Right.
The record had to come in
Timing.
with the timing,
Yeah.
with the timing
Yeah.
of this wax record, and you had in that part. I think is something I would say young DJs take the time to look at yourself. Are you constantly push buttons? It works at the time, and so I will flip it on the OGs. And sometimes, you know, we don't got time to get to that one point, but we so used to
doing it.
winding it. It's a file.
Yeah.
You press the button.
Yeah.
It's the shortcut. Sometimes it's okay to use a shortcut, especially when they don't even know what you're doing. The
Right.
crowd needs to hear the song at that particular time. And then again, that's where patience come into play. Because if you know that there is a shortcut to get to the mission. The mission is to make them enjoy themselves, bring them into your world, right? The world of music that you particularly play doesn't really matter to me. I've done an hour and a half salsa set and enjoyed it because it's the craft of blending this music, and it touched that soul of the people on the dance floor that held that energy from me to them and then them back to me.
Yes.
Right. That's the goal of, to me. And when I hear MC say, yo, DJ, cut that off and play this real quick, that you just broke the energy.
Yeah.
That if that wasn't a conversation between you and the DJ, that's a part of the show right there.
Right.
Oh, that hurts my soul.
Right.
But that's an everyday thing. That's an everyday thing in everything that we do. Like, you break the vibe.
Yep.
You break the vibe. Like, we could be chilling, everything is good, and then somebody could come out their mouth and say the dumbest crap, and everybody's just like, yo,
what?
Like, why? Like, go home. Like, why did you talk? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know
break
what
the
you're saying.
vibe. Same with relationship. Same with the vibe can be great because people don't have patience. Patience, you gotta use patience with everything you do.
Right.
You gotta have patience with everything you do.
Right. Damn. This is
Drop
heavy.
mic
It's
moments.
heavy.
Drop
It's heavy,
mic
man.
moments.
I hope y'all paying attention out there, man, because listen, we getting into some serious stuff today. Speaking of patience, Ash, how much patience did it take for you to accumulate so much knowledge about like herbs and flowers? And I mean, because you know a vast amount of information dealing with natural herbs and holistic kind of healing.
So it's natural for me. I'm a rebel by nature. Okay. So just because the wind is blowing to the left, I do not want to go there.
Gotcha.
Okay. So like, why does everybody want to go left? Well, I'm gonna go right because everybody just want to go left. So what the issue for me was coming up, I was always different. Someone would always say, you different. I didn't like it then. I didn't, for a while I went through not liking who I was. So then it was like, okay, what can I get into, you know, that I know matches this different that everybody's talking about, right? Because since I'm so different, right? When whole time, okay, the things that I'm doing that's so different was something that I grew up on. My mom and my dad coming from a different ethnicities and background, just seeing it every day, like the things that you use. Then finding out this thing that we call America. I'm an American because I live here. I'm nothing against America, but this thing that we call America, we always take from and put back. take from and put back with a different, we add our own twist. It's kind of like plagiarism with just changing a couple of words, right? So because of that, I was like, you know what? I'm tired of using the everyday things that everybody uses. I'm going to take a step back in the memory lane. I had to go through a process of healing myself, learning why I didn't like myself then, learning what was so different and why was it so different. And I'll tell you why. The patience was all of that. But then once I got past all of that, it was like, why do I act like this? Because I know it's not meant for me. And a lot of us know things are not meant for us.
Right.
And I'm talking on a food standpoint. I'm talking about habits of smoking, things of that nature. Like, we know it's not for us. Our body tells us. Just like I'm saying, okay, I want to be different, but my body was already different. You get what I'm saying? So like, it took me to sit down. I've always been good with retaining information. I've always been good with conversation recall, things like that. So if somebody send me down with a book and I read a book or we have a conversation, I'm gonna remember it if it's something I was interested in. And I've always been interested in plants. Anything, I like to get dirty. So like anything outside and things like that, I'm into. And then it's the healing part. So the patience from learning who I am,
right,
accepting who I am,
right,
being happy with who I am. And if you're not happy with who I am, then who cares? Because I'm happy with who I am. Because I'm happy with it. Okay? All right? And that's what makes me dope.
Hey,
and you got to feel that way about yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In order to produce who you are, to be who you are to other people. So the patience of that. And now the journey for me is the patience of people around me.
Okay.
Having patience with the
people around you.
Me.
Right. That's a super strong. That's even a stronger quality than getting to have patience with yourself.
Because people are different.
What?
Special and different. Okay.
Don't I know it? Jeez.
And so with these people being special and you have to have patience to deal with them. Right. And then that's when the plants come in. You telling people about the plants, but everybody not into it. Knowledge.
They're not.
Like, it's people that be like, girl, bye. Like, I'm going to just put these sugars in this coffee. Don't nobody care about that sweetener that you're talking about. It took too long. But those 5 minutes that it took for you to steep that plant to get sugar from, instead of using this white enriched granulated sugar.
That preach.
Okay, you just took off because of the quickness 2 years of your life, sister. And just the 5 minutes of me steeping that, I just added 5 years. So you don't have to agree or you don't have to like. I'm different.
Yeah, we just had to try different things.
It's a forever journey that I will have to continuously be patient with.
You're right. Damn.
So yeah, learning it's a joy. It's a joy. I learn new stuff every day.
Yeah.
I watch Discovery Channel. I look online. And that's the other thing. We got smartphones. We got computers in our hand all day.
Right.
Instead of listening to the hottest song or looking at somebody's net worth, you need to be checking out some check out some information that can help you.
Right.
If the world ends today, where you gonna go? What you gonna do if the world end today? Like, seriously, do you know what herb is gonna kill you? Do you know what herb won't kill you?
Right.
Do you know what herb you need to break down to kill somebody else?
Do
you know these things?
Oh boy. Speaking of information, let's talk about Matthew Music. Because I have the ambassador in here today, and he's going to give us a little bit extra as to what Matthew Music is about, how you came into the Matthew Music situation, because it has certainly been a blessing, and I know it's more to come from it. So,
man, I'm excited. Matthew Music should be at every school. If you have a nephew or son or a sibling, somebody you care about that's in 5th grade through 9th grade, we got a product for you. And I'll just take you back. When I played basketball with Knowledge in high school at Poly, I remember us playing Emerson, and I got a chance to dunk on somebody. Like, it was a big thing. And the crowd picked me all up in the air, and that energy that I felt that was for athletics, could it be for math? Can we make that same type of energy that we have for fashion, sports, and entertainment? Can we make that for math? And being a graduate of Morgan State University, earning an electrical and computer engineering degree, they taught us how to think All we learned was how to create something to solve a problem. That's all an engineer does, really. And the problem was that we're 27th in the world in science, technology, engineering, and math. You mentioned the
Terrible.
United States of America. This country here in America, we're 27th in the world
Mm.
when it comes to science, technology, engineering, and math. But yet we claim to be the number one country in the world. Well, part of our why.
Okay.
And so I did a little more research about Baltimore, where we are here, and realized that when we were all in grade school, 70 was passing, 60 was failing. Wait a minute. Then they made 60 passing, 50 failing.
Dumbing us
Mm.
down.
So I said, wait a minute, why are we lowering our expectations? Maybe we could change our approach to delivering STEM education to make learning more engaging. And you said doing the same thing over and over and over again is actually the definition of insanity.
Mm-hmm.
Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. If you look it up on Webster's dictionary, that will be the definition of insanity. So
Insane.
if why not change our approach? See, principles are few, processes are many. The math principles don't change. We learn fractions, part the whole, percentages. We learned all these things. Why can't we learn them in a different way? And so basically, I found a way to combine my engineering degree with me being a professional DJ, created this edutainment workshop, branded myself as a STEM DJ, got a chance to travel across the country doing edutainment workshops, after school programs, summer programs, intros to teachers' unit plans, exhibits for STEM fairs and STEAM fairs, and now we call STREAM fairs. So that stands for science, technology, reading, engineering, arts, and math, STREAM fairs. And then we said, well, as we come into a school, now we're getting pulled in as an educational resource. So imagine students going to gym one semester and then coming to 5-star. And we have classes like Respect the Tech, cyberbullying, the bad touch, good touch of the internet, junior web developing, just making the learning that you're already going to learn, that our educators are doing a fantastic job, but let's do a compliment. Let's be a compliment. So we're in that extended learning space. We're not looking to be in competition with any curriculum that already exists or any educator that is already a super duper educator. We want you to remain that way. But we want to add tools that can add value to the information that you're doing, because knowledge is not power. We got to stop saying that knowledge is power. Applied knowledge is power.
Applied.
Right.
When you apply it to something, then that's when the power happens and occurs. So I just want our educators to know that we are in a neutral bound of being a complement to what you already do for our scholars. And so we got a partnership. So lo and behold, when you start to scale a business, there are what they call growth pains. And growth pains happen when you have to rely on someone else to do something for you, because you have to work on the business. And so that means you can't work in the business all the time.
Right.
And so you're working on the business. You need a team so they can work in the business so you can continue to work on the business. And we started having some growth pains at that time. And so I wanted to really connect with a product. And so I've hired educators to create a curriculum. And then lo and behold, I get a tag by DJ TNT, Matthew Music. I stalked them for 7, 8, 9, 10 months and said, I need y'all to come to Baltimore. I want you to see what we're doing here at 5-Star Enterprise. The founder came here. He said, oh my God, Mr. Tillman, we need a partnership. This is an excellent partnership. You are who we've been looking for. We're based in Canada. You're in the United States. And so we have an international partnership with now 2 products, one called JD. So get this, you solder a DJ rig together like in high school.
Okay.
And then you code it to play music.
Whoa.
Wow.
STEM DJ.
Oh.
Wow.
And so special
I didn't know
thank
about
you
that.
to Asia. Asia Doswell, DJ Pork Chop's wife. She immediately saw that product and said, I need to order that. And thank you to DJ Lady Mysterious, who actually fulfilled that relationship so that we all got a chance to have a revenue stream in that deal. And so that's the key point. The revenue share is very important. I want you to know, as we help inspire our students, we are a for-profit company, and we want to make sure that we can still add value to our partners. And so because of that deal, she got a revenue stream, and then our actual client got exactly what they need to empower their students. Our second product, and the product we're talking about now, Matthew Music, is a duffel bag that comes with a laptop, your DJ controller, our curriculum, unlimited downloads on music, and then videos in the laptop to teach you the curriculum so we could scale and not have to send Mr. Tillman to come teach a class, or Mr. Knowledge or DJ Duke to go send a physical body. Now, of course, we still do our after school programming, but this is how you had to scale with a product. So I want to give a special thank you to DJ Kibi. DJ Kibi made a call and said, hey, I have a principal here. It needs your product, bro. I ain't never seen a product like this. She connected me to this principal. He ended up purchasing 16, 5, 10, 15, 16 Math Through Music kits for $100,000. And so Montgomery County, thank you for the support and saying that not only do we want to purchase these kits, which DJ Kibi got her 10% in revenue shares for all DJs, you can definitely do the same thing. If your daughter goes to a particular school and you have a center of influence over the administration at that school, please contact the DJ Booth Radio Show, and then we can have a conversation about getting you a kit or 10 kits, because it's designed for 2 students at a time. And so what we don't want to do is having our scholars fighting over this kit. And so don't try to get one kit, put it in the room for 30 students. We tried that did not work, and I said we're not going to do it that way. Not that way. And so in Baltimore, we have partners like the Y of Central Maryland who purchased about 4 or 5 kits. And so we're in Baltimore City that way. And so if anyone has any relationships with the Board of Education, please see why they will not allow us to be board approved so that we can reach more scholars in our city that I'm from, where we are board approved in Montgomery County. It opens my eyes that it can be done, and we have a product that's very unique. It doesn't exist nowhere in this country but here. And so I want you to understand that you can contact maththroughmusic.com and you go to team and you'll see my pretty little face there as the Northeast director for this whole country here of the United States of America. And so having a scalable product stops at the excuses. It stops the excuses of there isn't something that doesn't increase our math scores. The Canadian federal government did a 5-year study. So I got data that said math scores have doubled because this product was implemented in a particular school. And so I have data from Stanford University, who just did a temperature check. We're talking emotional intelligence. If you ask a student 5th grade through 9th grade, or near there, 10th, 11th, 12th, so ask it, let's say 100 students, one word to describe math. I guarantee you that over 50% of that of those answers will be a negative word for math. And so then put those same students in Math Through Music. We have 35 lessons. You can duplicate that with unlimited downloads on music. It can do 10 months. We're doing a 10-month program right now. Twin just joined in. Hey, Twin. And so Math Through Music is a way for you to go at your own pace, learning the same, remember, principles are few, processes are many. So few principles of math that already exist. They've been there since the 1800s and before we were kings and queens in the Mansa Musa era. The same principles still exist. Different process. We just put the same principles into music and the process of DJing to make it engaging. Same as when you have your son or daughter or a grandson or granddaughter, niece, nephew, and they need to take some medicine, and you put the medicine inside some applesauce so you can make sure that they receive what they need.
Yes.
It's the same concept.
Same concept.
It's the same concept.
Yes.
Okay. And it works. It works, honestly, because I've come past one of the centers over at Lake, okay? And Duke had brought me with him one day. And these kids were excited. I mean, they were excited about learning because of this kid. Like, I'm like, what is this? I said, Duke, what are they doing? And he was like, yeah, this is the Math Through Music. And, you know how you
sound like
yeah. I was like, well, I hate math, dude. Like I've always had. Like I really do. And I said, so how is it gonna help me? And he brought me over. Okay. He brought me to it and he was showing the kids and he was teaching me the BPM. And with doing that, he was like, all right, now we gotta count. Right? You gotta count.
Count bars.
And every time that you press that button, All right, you gotta know that it's gonna.
On
You
the
can
one.
hear when it's messed up.
Yep.
Because it's gonna come in wrong. It's gonna be like, yeah, and then you be like, oh, that
Oh,
was
that
not
wasn't
right.
right.
You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So if you count it and you miscounted, then yes, it
Wow.
you like,
Commercial.
oh man. So okay, so I was like, oh wait, I got it, and I got excited.
Nice.
I got excited.
Yeah.
Not only did I get excited because I've always hated math, and I always thought, man, there's never something that would get me into math.
Mhm.
What else than music? Who doesn't like music?
Everybody.
Who doesn't like music? Music is a language.
Yes.
Okay. So not only are you getting in tune with the language, but you're learning at the same time. Like
Right.
whoever would not want to have that.
Real quick.
Online is Charles Johnson Bay.
All right.
Who was my professor? I think you came in a little after that.
Uh-huh.
I had him for digital logic. Who's a Poly alum, by the way? Let me see.
Oh, and,
Okay,
and
okay.
BJ says City Forever.
BJ.
BJ says City Forever.
Real quick,
too,
shout out
said.
to she just tuned in. DJ Jazz K out of Spain. She just tuned in on my live.
Hola.
Talented DJ out there. I just want to tell her we were talking about math through music, which is an innovative way for kids to improve their math skills through the art of DJing. So I would love for you to hit me up. Maybe we can get something going out in Spain.
Absolutely.
But back to the conversation.
Absolutely. So this guy right here, the Diggy Doctor, aka CJB, probably one of the coolest professors at Morgan State University,
Mhm.
and he taught digital logic. And I think it was his class is where I had the aha moment that knowledge is not power. He taught
Go
me
there.
AND gates, OR gates, digital logic. And when I took that theory and said, wait a minute, this record is now a digital record. This has ones and zeros inside this record, time code in this record to make me be able to do what I can do in the future.
That's amazing.
His theory, who's right here, right now, just say, hey, Kendrick, yeah, you're at the right time, Doc, because this is the connection where knowledge isn't power until you apply it.
Right.
And so I wanted somebody to hear that. King Cali, what's good? And so it really is about patience, because it took 20 years to get to this point. From that point, being in his class in 2000, I believe. Now we're in 2021.
2021.
That's 20 years.
Yeah, 20 years.
It was about 2000 when I was in his class. And so now having that patience and that really the aha moment. Another professor said, bro, you got to find your needle in a haystack. I ain't find it till 2010.
All right.
But then in 2010, I said, okay, this is the 20-year plan. And so people don't understand, Kendrick, what you been doing? No, I'm same thing, planning the work, working the plan. That's why I say I'm living a dream, because I dreamt this when we said we were going to do this 2010, and here we are in 2021. 11 years of a 20-year plan is now working. And so when we talk about patience, you couldn't give up after the third year.
After the third year?
I went to Dr. White on year 4 or 5. I think I need to come take I'm going to do some adjunct classes and teach at Morgan. He looked at me and said, no. So if you come here to Morgan, I love this great school, but they're going to work your hind parts, and you ain't going to be able to keep building what you building. You keep building that.
Right.
That little kick in the hind parts work.
Yeah.
And so here we are now.
Shout out to Dr. White.
Dream. One time for Dr. White.
He's a genius.
Yes, he's a genius.
Dr. White is a special character.
He's a special character. I met him in 1999. He was bumping Cash Money. Who was bumping in a Benz truck, blasting, but he knew his stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got to be like that.
Yeah.
Oh man, he didn't even do no written tests. It was an oral exam. You had to come
right.
talk it. You better know that stuff.
All right.
And so,
All right.
and so to be in those environments, to have those type of relationships, to have relationships like my professor jumping in, like we have real friendships. We went to the same high school. We all have this ring that have that basic understanding of this ring that basically means from theory to practice.
Oh, and what's that? Poly?
That's Poly.
Yes.
Oh.
From
Shout out to
theory
Poly City. I mean,
practice.
we didn't come away with the win this weekend, but at least the varsity didn't. The JV did, but
Go Poets.
Yeah, well, hey,
DJ Nutty, what's good,
another
bro?
epic weekend though. It was back to back. It
Oh.
was Morgan homecoming last week,
and
then
then it was
Poly
Yeah.
City this
City
week,
game.
and it was
Did you
loads
get
of
to that
fun.
tailgate?
I did make it. I made it at the end. I got there like 4:30, It was over at 6. So I did get a chance to have fun
enjoy
seeing some
yourself.
people. We had
Tailgate was everything.
5 was on stage, like
everything.
talking on the mic.
One time, Fathom got the juice because they don't know me. I come in the door, back door. They like, where your wristband at, sir? I said, I'm a DJ. Like, no, you got to go around there. And I was like, I got all this stuff.
And they're going to make you go
they're
around
gonna make me
there?
go, okay, I'm just going to be a humble servant. And here come Fathom. Oh, that's DJ 5 Star. He is good. Let him in.
He had it on,
Yeah.
Go
on
ahead,
lock. He
bro.
had it on
Right.
lock.
Go ahead,
Right.
bro. Fathom gave me the juice.
Because he is he's a DTL
Downtown Locker Room. Yes,
ambassador.
man.
I mean, yeah.
It was our sponsor. So
Right, they was a sponsor.
it was a good look. So I thank you. I thank you very much. And oh yeah, CJB, I love you too, man.
Yeah, that was a
Far
dope
from
weekend.
done.
That
You're
was a
absolutely
dope
correct.
weekend. But
2 schools.
that
one
is
love.
Mhm.
a phenomenal, and like I said, it's more to come with Matthew Music. He just really scratching
I'm
the surface.
excited to see more.
And it's
So
yeah.
what's the issue with Baltimore City? Why they're
Got
not
it.
picking
So
it up?
they have where a lot of the schools get funding from is called K-12 BUY.
Okay.
K-12 BUY.
And
Now, for maybe our beginning of our company, we've been on K-12 BUY, but most of our large contracts, the school got funding from outside of K-12 BUY. 6, we got a 60 contract, and we were blocked. Like, why are we blocked? I don't understand what's blocked. And so for come to find out, there is a cap. I think it's like 25,000. And then there's the next cap is 50,000. And you got to be board approved for
each,
even
yeah.
if you're in demand and they want to purchase your Matthew Music product, you still have to become board approved. And
so it's politics. It's politics. It's politics. I
Right.
would call it like it is.
Right.
Okay. It's
Right.
politics.
You already
Because if
know.
everything has to be board approved and you have something here that is going to change the way that children learn their mathematics, why not jump on it? And if it's a situation where it has to be approval by everyone on this board, then it has to be politics. Because who on the board does not feel like it would be
Mhm.
lucrative for our Baltimore City?
Right.
Now, I worked in Baltimore City school system, okay? And I enjoyed my time at Baltimore City schools. They gave me a job very early. I learned very passed my praxis, went in as a substitute. I learned a great deal about how we'll have budgets in schools. We'll utilize these budgets in these schools for frivolous things.
Mhm.
And then when it's time for us to be able to pull from this budget for something that is truly needed for our children, the money is never there.
Wow.
Okay. And if that is the case with Baltimore City, I'm saying to you, because I know some people on here from Baltimore City are looking, why are you ball and make sure you grab this program? Because mathematics is used every single day in everything that we do, from counting money,
Right.
okay,
Right.
to DJing,
Right.
Mhm.
all right, to designing blueprints for buildings, okay, for even putting things together on a flyer. All right. So if that's the case, then it's imperative that you get this program.
Yeah. Matthew Music, y'all. Look, I'm just happy. I always say that they be like, yo, you the man. No, I'm not the man. I just know the man. I'm happy to know the people that I know.
The people that you
know what I'm saying?
That
Because
energy.
that energy. And that's what I draw from, being in my field for such a long time, 20 years. I done met all kinds of people.
Mhm.
But I mean, me and this guy, we could talk for days. Like, we still talk and could sit down and talk for days about anything. Like, we have so much fun together, just talking about business to DJing and now golf, which is a whole nother
conversations.
And I want to go back. I want to go back to DJing, because again, the DJ Booth Radio Show. Let's keep it relevant. To all the DJs or aspiring DJs, I want to say, and I'm going to segue into to 5 in a second. Don't just have to be in one lane. of, yo, I gotta rock a club. I gotta do a party with this type of music or that type of music. Because, and the reason why I say that, right? I had this experience. I went over to my good friend's house one day, and it was him and about two other DJs, and all they did for 2 hours was scratch.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
I was fascinated because I was like, yo, niggas really actually do this for 2-3 hours? I'm like, this is a whole nother lane of DJing.
Yeah.
Like, so turntablism, bro. Like, tablism. Like, how did you even
That's
like
a-
where?
that's a- that's a
How does
good
that? How,
We might not have enough time.
I mean, because that
Let me put it in perspective.
it
though.
takes the DJ into a whole different like lane.
Yeah, let me put it in perspective so you know both sides of this. Because DJ and Fame said this to me in 2007. I don't know, this is Eden's Lounge days.
Oh,
So
Love it.
maybe 2007. I was listening to him and I was like, bro, you played all the right records, but some of your transitions, we need to tighten up a bit. He was like, 5, the talent, 10% of the game is 90% who you know. I was like, oh, you got a point there. I got who people are, what they do. And from there, he made me want to prove that wrong. So my whole business model changed based on the craft of DJing. And the highlight of my DJ career is performing with Soulful Symphony. So if you can imagine me in my little tuxedo and bow tie, scratching the 77 other instruments, it's about the craft.
yeah.
They wouldn't keep me there if I couldn't cut so sharp that complemented 77 other instruments.
Right.
And so if I was a sloppy scratcher, that doesn't mix. And so that was bigger than just knowing the person and it being 10% talent. It grew that. And so what birthed from that was an initiative we created called Spiritual Spinning. I started scratching my pastor's Bible verses.
Oh,
I'm like, oh, they like that? I'm gonna keep
all
going.
right. Good.
I mixed this Kirk Franklin song with this club beat. I saw grandmother and granddaughter love the same thing because of the craft. Spiritual spinning it is. Technology affected the DJ industry that we can control what you see. I sold this to Northrop Grumman because they want to attract millennials to the career fair. Well, what if I scratch your commercials on these screens? I guarantee I'm gonna get their undivided attention.
We're like, whoa.
Media Masters was created. But what if we talk about this scratching this record and moving that video? That's the digital logic we just talked about. Be More STEM was created. That became my whole life's work formulated into that. And so your life's work is 3 things. It involves your tablism, the craft. It involves sustainability, meaning you solve a problem or satisfy a need, which is, remember I said, 27th in the world in STEM. It's a problem. We need to solve that. And then 3, it's got to make the world a place. Now, I'm from Emerson Village, and a lot of my friends had a passion for the hustle. They satisfied a need. But because it didn't help mankind and hurt our community, the lifespan of that life's work is very short.
Very short.
Either not here no more, or you might be behind bars. You're not doing,
Or
or
stuck.
you still in the same spot that we were when we were in middle school. This is facts, right? And so your life's work has to be your passion, meaning you love it so much you would do it for free. It still gotta solve a problem or satisfy a need for somebody. And then 3rd, it's gotta make the world a better place.
All right.
You put those 3 things together, that becomes your what I call your life's work. And so when I figured that out in 2019 or 2009 and started the company in 2010 with those type of values, that's why you can't tell me I'm an overnight success. This is patience, because we had a 20-year vision and now we're in year 11 of that 20-year vision. And so now to see us earn a $250,000 contract from one person, that's about persistence, passion, and solving the problem that they need and making the world a better place. And so you got to connect those 3 things for you to be sustainable. And then in that you have so many ways that you can touch other people's life's work. And so this is the last thing, and I'll digress. you gotta be in your therapeutic space.
Mm.
It gives me goosebumps to talk about DJing.
Okay.
It's therapeutic.
It's your love.
It's I got goosebumps right now
Oh.
as we talk about this. And so whatever is not therapeutic for me, I'm gonna hire that organization that is therapeutic for them. That's a strategic partnership. That's where we gotta look as Dr. George Frazier always says this: when 1 and 1 comes together to collaborate, that only makes 1 + 1 is 2. But when 1 and 1 comes together to cooperate, it actually makes 11. See,
Okay.
1 and 1.
Okay.
And so we got to think about the cooperation of how many of these dots we can connect in this one mission. And that's the move. Like, all right, if the mission is this, then we need the tools and the human capital and the partners to get the mission done with everybody in their therapeutic space. See, a lot of my baby boomers missed this because they were so hard on. They got it. They got it from the seniors, and the baby boomers was told they have to be the best of the best of the best, which is true. But if you're not the best of the best, having that talent, and you're telling me you're going to spend all these years to work on a weakness that you like, we have gifts that the Most High has already given us.
Okay.
Let's focus on the gifts and combine them with our talents in that therapeutic space. That's you. Don't. See, the baby boomers had it where they had to be great and everything, and they spent all these years in places that they were good at, but they hated it. It wasn't therapeutic. And so the key here is the therapeutic space. Find your therapeutic space, multiply that. I always say stemify your passion.
Right.
And that's what we really did. I imported science, technology, engineering, and math in the DJ industry, and that became my life's work.
Right. My man. If I don't get, what they say, that's my nigga if he don't get no bigger. Man, I'm telling you, like, I swear to goodness, if this was
like we had
if I had to title an episode, I would say patience. Because we keep coming back to that word. It keep coming back to that word. And I swear that must have been, I don't know, again, when I come on the show, I'm always resonating from what's going on in my life. I'm resonating from what's going on in my heart and my mind. And so the fact that we keep coming back to patience, I'm going to be thinking about patience today.
Patience should be the word for the whole entire week until next week. I feel like everyone should be applying patience. This is what homework should be. Okay? Homework.
We can still do homework as adults.
Patience, apply patience in the way that you talk to people. Okay, apply patience into your work. Okay, be patient with whatever it is that you've been working on. Like DJ Five said, like this is a journey. Okay, 20 years. 20 years, right? Set yourself some goals. And then when you set them short-term and long-term goals, be patient with yourself. Okay? And be patient with others around you. All right? Be patient with the process. Be patient with the Most High. Okay? It's important to be patient.
I've learned another I've ascended to a different level of patience based on the fact, I mean, I didn't go into too much detail earlier, and I'm not going to, but with my living situation, my level of patience has just, I'm feeling like, yo, I'll talk to y'all about that off air. Like, whoa, we got to get ready to get up out of here. Man, shout out to everybody that tuned in. This was a super duper powerful episode. We got to go into the mindset of a person that I look up as a friend, not only a friend, but a colleague, but a mentor, but whatever you want to call it, man. This guy, man, like I said, I go to him sometimes to talk about my problems if I have to, you know what I mean? And vice versa. You know we can share and come straight out the cuff with truthfulness and honesty.
That's
like
love.
don't sugarcoat it for me, bro. Give me the well done message. I don't want the fluff. You know what I mean? So with that being said, shout out to Instagram before we get out of here.
Okay, you guys can follow me at Reality Recycled on IG. You can follow me at Reality Recycled on Facebook. You can also find me on YouTube, Pinterest, and Twitter at Reality Recycled.
Alrighty, and yours 5.
I'm DJ 5 Star. That's DJ the number 5 STARR. And the one thing I want to say, be stingy with when it comes to patience is your energy. Your energy. Don't be patient with that. If you see your friends are like elevator buttons, they can send you up or send you down. Somebody's draining you. Remove yourself.
Remove it.
Don't be patient with that.
Shout out. Bring it right back to the Remedy 10. Right back to the Remedy 10 on energy. So, like, man, look, the universe is 360. I'm your man, DJ Knowledge, DJ NILEDGE on everything. Make sure y'all go check out the YouTube page. All you gotta do is search the DJ Booth Radio Show. You'll get the latest live episodes that you'll get it live recordings. Go to your podcast platform, look up the DJ Booth Radio Show, subscribe. Shout out to my man DJ Duke. You already know my ace. He's out on business, but he'll be back next week. And then we'll be back next week, 1 p.m. And we're gonna get it in, y'all. Until then, protect your energy and let's be blessed. Peace.
Yes. Dang, Knowledge. What happened today? I should have bought the singing bowl.